Welcome to Department of Collegiate and Technical Education. In this video, we are going to talk about the subject Water Supply Engineering for third semester Civil Engineering program. Unit 2, Session 24, Treatment of Water. Course outcome is 02. Before going to talk about today's session topics, we shall recap the previous sessions, what all we have come across and learnt. So, previous topics were mixing devices, mixing basins with baffle walls, these mixing devices for coagulants with the water. Next, flash mixer and flocculator. And the some of the MCQs, multiple choice questions we have seen in the previous session. In today's session, we are going to study about the topics clarifier and jar test for optimum coagulant dosage and some of the MCQs related to today's sessions. First topic is clarifier. So this figure shows the primary clarifier. This primary clarifier will be rotating radially. So here in this, in primary clarifier, it separates heavy particles. Heavy particles means sludge and lighter particles, scum, before biological treatment. Before going to do the filtration and chlorination, this here the heavy particles and the scum are separated in the primary clarifier. Here, from here, pre-treated sewage enters from headworks. Raking arms pushes sludge into collection basin. Here, from here, sludge is sent to thickeners, then to digester for methane production and stabilization, then to form lands for use of approved crops. Here, skimmers push scum and greased into basin for removal to digesters. So this is the clarified sewage flows over weirs into trough. Here, this is the trough where the clarified sewage flows. Effluent flows to the biological treatment or bio towers. After flocculation, the mixture is led to coagulant basin or a clarifier. The design of clarifier is similar to the sedimentation tank. Here in this clarifier, the flock settles down and the clear water is taken out of the tank for further purification. The horizontal velocity of flow of water is kept lower than 90 centimeter per minute inside this clarifier. Surface loading varies from 40,000 to 60,000 liters per square meter per day. The inlets and outlets are designed that no disturbance is caused in the settling zone. The inlets and outlets are designed in such a way that no disturbance should be caused by the settlement or settling zone. Here the detention period varies from 1.5 hours to 2.5 hours. Detention period means the time taken by a particle to settle at the bottom of the tank for suspended impurities. The settled sludge is then drained out from the sludge outlet pipe. Pre-treated sewage comes here. Then the clarifier rotates and settlement in the settlement zone, sludge will be settled down. Raking arms pushes for the collection into the basin, and finally clarified sewage flows over the trough here, and whatever the sludge is obtained, so that is taken out from this sludge outlet pipe, and then it can be sent into the thickeners or digester for either it may be production of methane, or it may be farmlands for the stabilization of farmlands, and also these farmlands are in turn used on the approved crops. So the effluent, clear effluent will be taken next to the bio towers, next treatment unit. Next topic, jar test for optimum coagulant dosage. So we have come across sedimentation with coagulation and some of the feeding devices and mixing devices. In feeding devices, we have seen how the feeding devices are working. Feeding devices are nothing but the coagulant feeding devices. Anyhow, we are adding the coagulant to the water, but we should know how much coagulant dosage is required for a water mixing to get a good flow in a less dosage. So that one is jar test. So this is the jar test motor. Here the jars are provided with the mixing paddles inside the each jar. Each jar is of capacity 1 liter. Each jar will be of different coagulant dosage. To determine approximate amount of coagulant, the usual test which is performed in the laboratory is jar test. The apparatus consists of a rotary devices having 6 number of vertical strings or vertical steering rods provided with paddles at lower ends and called multiple stirrer. With stirring water and alum content placed in 6 jars each of 1 liter capacity. So how this apparatus will be? So it consists of rotary devices with the 6 number of jars. Inside that it will be again the rotary devices are connected to vertical steering rods with the paddles at the lower ends of those steering rods with the multiple stirrer. Again those paddles are connected with the multiple stirrer. So this jar capacity will be around 1 liter. Each jar will be 1 liter capacity. A horizontal shaft which is geared directly to an electric motor. So this horizontal shaft is directly connected to the electric motor. The motor is provided with speed reducing gears which enables the pedals to revolve at different speed. So this electric motor is provided with the different speed reducing gears to provide different speeds. Different amount of alum solution are added to each jar containing the same amount of water samples and contains stirred rapidly at first for 2 to 3 minutes and slowly later for 30 minutes. Then the liquid is allowed to stand for the flock to settle down inside the jar. The smallest dosage of alum or the coagulant that produces a good flock is taken as the optimum dosage for the particular water. Whichever the smallest dosage we are going to get it to get a good flock, so that one we will consider for the optimum dosage for the particular water. So this is the horizontal shaft. Vertical steering rods are provided with the paddles. Multiple stirrers will be provided. Jar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, each having 1 liter capacity. And in each jars we need to put 1 liter of water, but with the different coagulant or different alum dosage. For example, it may be a for 1 liter capacity of 1 liter water, it may be of 10 mg, it may be 20 mg, it may be 30, 40, 50, so on. So each dosage will be different. So whichever the jar produces good flock with the less amount of flock, less amount of coagulant with a good flow is the optimum dosage for that particular water. So this is how this jar test is done in the laboratory. Next topic is some of the multiple choice questions. First question, to determine the approximate amount of coagulant, the usual test which is performed in the laboratory is, so usually for to determine the optimum dosage of coagulant, the usual test which is done in the laboratory is jar test. To determine approximate amount of coagulant, the usual test which is performed in the laboratory is jar test. Next question. In clarifier, the horizontal velocity of flow of water is kept lower than. In clarifier, the horizontal velocity of flow of water is kept lower than 90 centimeter per minute. Next question. The smallest dose of alum that produces a dash. The smallest dose of alum that produces a is a good flock. Next question. In clarifier, detention period varies from dash hours. Usually, the detention period in the clarifier will be around 1.5 to 2.5 hours. In clarifier, so answer is the in clarifier detention period varies from 1.5 to 2.5 hours. Next question. In jar test, each jar is having a capacity of dash. In jar test, each jar having capacity what? Of what? In jar test, each jar is having a capacity of 1 liter. Next question. In clarifier, surface loading varies from dash. In clarifier, answer in clarifier, surface loading varies from 40,000 to 60,000 liters per square meter per day. Surface loading will be around 40,000 to 60,000 liters per square meter per day. Next question. In jar test, water samples and contents stirred rapidly at first for dash and slowly later for dash. Answer. In jar test, water samples and contents stirred rapidly at first for 2 to 3 minutes and slowly later for 30 minutes. That's all for today's session. Thank you.